What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs extending Mark Giordano for another 2 years at an average annual value of $800,000. Nice little hometown discount. I'm sorry if I sound or look a little tired. I was just having a bit of a pre-game nap because I worked a 12-hour shift yesterday. But lots of Leafs news, rumors, trade stuff on this channel coming over the next months because that's what I do. That's my bread and butter here. So make sure to like this video and subscribe. I know there's a ton of people that watch these that aren't subscribed. Liking and subscribing helps a ton. So let's get right into the video. So the Toronto Maple Leafs announced today, like I said, a 2-year contract extension for Mark Giordano, $800,000. Nice little hometown discount, like I said. Obviously, there's a lot of information over his career, but I kind of wanted to go over some of that stuff in cap friendly because the Toronto Maple Leafs definitely got a good deal. And when you bring Giordano in again, especially how he looked last year when he came to the Leafs, they didn't push him into a position where he needed to play a ton of minutes and be impactful every time he's on the ice. He made an impact with not as big as a role as he would have had in other teams that he played for, obviously previously in Calgary and then Seattle as the captain. He was playing more of a mentor role, plus giving us meaningful minutes on the bottom pair with somebody like Timothy Liljegren, because, man, like, he made Liljegren look really good, and Liljegren took a step. It's almost like he got a bit of mentorship from him. So that was a really, really good move. He actually did pretty well in the point department as well, and we'll get to that in a second. But his former deal was $6.7 million. So he's going from that $6.7 million deal to an $800K extension, which, again, that's quite the discount. And obviously the reason for that is because he's just not the same player as he used to be. He's not the guy that's going to give you that sort of production anymore for that dollar amount. But, man, Gio, in his prime, what a player, and he's still doing really well today. I mean, look at the numbers that he put up. In 55 games played with Seattle, he had 23 points. In 20 games in Toronto, he had 12 points and added a couple more in the playoffs. But again, the Leafs didn't bring him in here to be some big-time point producer and guy that was going to shut everybody down. He was brought in here to be a stability, a stable guy for that bottom pairing, and a guy that they can play in the top four if they need him on any given night, and he did his job. And the fact of the matter is the Leafs need to cut some costs on their blue line next season, and Mark Giordano will give them a little bit of that extra I guess motive to clear out somebody else from that blue line to even bring somebody else in, and they have options, and I kind of wanted to bring that up a little bit for you guys here. So the salary cap this offseason, going into next year, I should say, is $82.5. Now, right now, obviously, Jason Spezza is not signed on here. There's some names like Robertson and Aberzazi. I'm not saying this is going to be the roster, but this is just kind of like what I'm looking at. I've also signed Liljegren and Sandin at $2.2 million. It could be a little more, could be a little bit less, but these are bridge deals because, again, they're not going to get big contracts yet, in my opinion. But you're going to see there that it's a little bit crowded. And, you know, there's been talk of the Leafs potentially moving on from Jake Muzzin. Now, you could do that, but that leaves a big hole on the left side. But do you trust that Rasmus Sandin takes a step and you have Gio on the third pairing? Because the Leafs, if you're really looking at it, would have about $3.4 million in cap space to work with. And the way I look at it, I like Kerfoot, but I'm going to put them on LTIR because it moves cap space out. I'm not saying that's what the Leafs are going to do. This is my trade pile. The LTIR is the trade pile. I think that $3.5 million the Leafs are going to look to spread out a little bit into a couple different guys, or re-signing guys like Colin Blackwell and Jason Spezza and seeing how that goes. Nick Aberzazi might not even be on this team. Again, this is just a placeholder. I'm not sure what they're going to do with Wayne Simmons, so again, you could move him out, but for now, I'm going to keep him there. I also think Justin Hall potentially is an odd man out, so that gives you a little bit more money, $8.9 million. And then, of course, I think the Leafs are really trying hard to move that Mrazek contract, and that could give them $12.7 million to move and get some pieces via trade or in free agency, and it allows them to have what they believe to be their best 6 defensemen, if they're truly going by this. Now, again, I'm not saying that they have to trade those guys or it will happen. And I've already seen people saying that Kerfoot and Hall, they can't be moved. They have 1 year left on their deals, and they do not have negative trade value. The Leafs will get something back for them. It won't be crazy, but besides the playoffs, Kerfoot had a fantastic year, and Justin Hall was hot and cold, but he's a right-handed shot defenseman. And I said this in my next video coming out. Those guys will get you something. The Mrazek contract is a different story. They're going to have to work hard to move that deal. But getting Mark Giordano at a cheap $800K really allows the Leafs to get rid of an expensive contract and save a little bit of money. And again, that could end up being Jake Muzzin. I have no idea if they do something like that, but if they did, hypothetically, you get rid of Jake Muzzin, you put Rasmus Sandin in that top 4 because you really want to see if he can step up to the plate, and you have Justin Hall and Gio as your bottom pairing. You go with the 2 young guys on your second pair, and that will give you a lot of cap space. Now, again, that contract with Muzzin could be difficult to move. He has the no trade clause, so I'm kind of doubting this is a possibility. So that's why I just wanted to show you guys the Leafs could end up having some flexibility depending on the moves that they make. But even having about $12 million to mess around with to try to upgrade without getting rid of one of your star players, you can add some pretty good talent. And I think Blackwell would end up being on this team. I think Engvall or Mikheyev, one of them will stick around. And then, you know what? You just have to try to acquire a top 6 guy and fix the goaltending situation. I know it sounds, like I'm making it sound like it's easy. No, it's definitely not. I'm just saying these are the options now. You've signed a top 6 defenseman to a cheaper deal than you probably would have had to go out there on the market and acquire a Mark Giordano for. I don't think he's an $800,000 defenseman. He's probably in the $2 to $3 million range still. He can give you numbers still. He gives you a really good top 6 game. He plays well defensively. And the Leafs got him on a steal. They got him on a hometown discount, quite frankly. That's what it is. So I like the deal. I like the flexibility that it gives the Leafs. And who doesn't love Mark Giordano? This is great. I'm very happy about this. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think Gio being on this team still is good? Do you think it's bad? I hope nobody thinks that way. Let me know. And again, if you are watching this and you're a Leaf fan, trust me, tons of content's coming and upgrades to the channel are coming. My new intro is done. Lots of fun stuff. So like this video and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Join the squad. Mark Giordano, 2-year extension with the Maple Leafs at an $800,000 AAV. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.